This is one of those tactics where once you see it, you'll be thinking or you'll be asking to yourself, where are the goals going to come from? Is it just the one central attacking midfielder or central midfielder on attack duty that's going to be responsible for scoring all the goals? But it's one of the good tactics, so we're actually going to test it out with a Brazilian side, Fluminense in Brazil. Hello guys, you're back on DarkHorse FM, where we create and test out tactics for mid-table sides in Football Manager 2022. This looks like one of the good ones as well, so we're going to test it out in Brazil. And by the way, I'm thinking about making a new video about how I got my Brazilian league to look the way it's supposed to look. Looking at the club info, you can see Fluminense currently have their original kits selected, and then and their logos and everything, so I'm probably going to make a video about that. But today's video is about tactics, and then you can see this is the 4-1-1-3-1 tactic. Yeah, that's the way it looks, and the results were the results of Fluminense. We're going to see how that goes. And there's two ball playing defenders and then an inverted wing back on support duty, roaming playmaker, central midfielder on attack. I already mentioned that he looks like the main source of goals in this particular team. But there's a lot of creativity in the number 10 role. So there's attacking midfielder on support duty here, and then in the wide areas you have two advanced playmakers, and then there's a pressing forward that is also. This looks like a ploy to stop the opposition's defensive midfielder or the opposition's pivot, the playmaker in the deeper role from the opposition team. So using a pressing forward on support duty probably means that, according to the pressing forward on support duty, generally going to, from my understanding of the pressing forward on support anyway, this guy is going to be responsible for pressing the defensive midfielder. When the pressing forward is on attack duty, he's going to press the back line. And the pressing forward is on defend duty, he's probably going to be a lot deeper and try to win possession from a central midfielder. So look, it's interesting to see how this tactic setup is going to go. So a year later, the results with Fluminense look like this. After 38 games, first of all, I need to actually check where they were supposed to finish. I forgot to check that before simulating the entire season. Looking at the season preview, then you can see that Fluminense were predicted to finish in 6th place, so they're one of the better sides. Santos, Corinthians, Atlético Mineiro, Palmeiras, and Flamengo are right up there above them, but in 6th place they were predicted to finish, and then they went on to finish in 3rd place. And Flamengo and Botafogo, I need to know how to pronounce these names, they're so slick. Botafogo they came in 2nd, Flamengo came in 1st, and then Fluminense came in 3rd. They did lose 10 times in the league, and then they had a goal difference of 17. So probably the tactic did concede a lot, and then they ended up losing some games, but they had 66 points, which is far off from Flamengo. That's 20 points less than Flamengo. I'm going to attribute that to the lack of firepower in the team. So many few players on attack duty as well, so that's probably why the tactic didn't get as many goals and then end up winning as many games as it should have. But then looking at the team stats, then the highest scorers was Flamengo with 82. In 2nd place, Fluminense had 77 goals in the league season, and then the points per game, Fluminense were down there at 1.74. In 3rd place, by the way, most possession, they were 2nd place. Botafogo had 56% possession, Fluminense had 55, so they did well in possession. Then looking at the goals or the least conceded, they did concede a lot, so they're not even in the first 8, and that's not very good looking at the way the tactic is. So the way the tactic is set up, what would you rather change in this tactic? For me, I would look to bring in a more attacking central, the more attacking center forward, as the pressing forward probably going to be on attack duty, and then both inverted wing backs as well are going to play on attack duty also, and then the roaming playmaker. I can actually leave everybody here, this holy quadruple ball playing defender, super keeper on support, and the roaming playmaker on support. I can leave all these guys as they are, but inverted wing backs, I can push those players to play on attack duty, and then have the pressing forward as well to play on attack duty. Maybe one of the advanced playmakers as well should also play on attack duty. Basically, that's what I would rather change in the tactic. We're going to look at the way this tactic is designed in detail. So then, looking at the tactic, in the goalkeeper position, we do have a super keeper on support duty. There are no instructions for him. There are two ball playing defenders on defend duty. The ball playing defender on the left hand side has dribble more and then shoot less often. The ball playing defender on the right has dribble more, just that instruction. Then there is the defensive midfielder here is a roaming playmaker. The player in the DM role is a roaming playmaker. Beside him are two inverted wing backs on support duty. The inverted wing back on the right hand side has take fewer risks, dribble more, shoot less often, and get further forward. The inverted wing back on the left hand side has take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, and get further forward. One of the most powerful roles in Football Manager 2022 is the central midfielder on attack duty. His instructions are to take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, roam from positions, move into channels, and tackle harder. I do like the relationship in the 4 players on attack. This, like I mentioned, this tactic is quite unique. In attack, we have a pressing forward on support, but first of all, the 3 players, they have 2 advanced playmakers on the wide side, on the wide flank. The advanced playmaker on the left hand side has cross from the byline, dribble more, and then roam from position. So essentially, he is acting as a winger, but a very, very creative version of a winger. On the left hand side, the advanced playmaker here on the left has been asked to cross from the byline and then roam from position. So we expecting a lot of chances to be created with this tactic. And then in the end, the number 10 role, leaning slightly to the left hand side. That's because of the central midfielder on attack on this other position. He's going to get into this space. So the attacking midfielder on support duty has take more risks, dribble more, get further forward, and roam from positions. The center forward is a pressing forward on support duty, so just the 1 player on attack duty, which is rare, I have to admit, but for a very good tactic. So take fewer risks and shoot less often are the only instructions for the pressing forward on support. When the team is out of possession, then we're going to look at the team instructions, how they behave in transition, in possession, and when the team is out of possession. So first of all, when they're out of possession, there's a standard defensive line and the much higher line of engagement. Also, they've asked the team to press much more urgently and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. That's good because there are a lot of players in the attacking areas that can actually win the ball early and hopefully start a counter attack. The defensive width is very narrow, so you're showing the opposition outside. It's rare, or it's weird in this kind of shape because there are just 2 players in there, so it means everybody's going to get into the midfield and try and compress that position and then show the opposition to the crosses and hopefully we're going to win the first header when the opposition is trying to cross the ball. When the team is in transition, then they have been asked to counter press and to counter, and the goalkeeper has also been instructed to roll the ball out. He hasn't been designated to roll it back to roll it out to anybody, so essentially he could roll the ball out to the roaming playmaker if that's possible, but so just roll it out. And then when the team is in possession of the ball, they'll be asked to play out of defense with extremely high tempo and then walk the ball into the box while playing those low crosses. So essentially, this is basically how the tactic is set up anyway. The general mentality of the tactic is positive, and then from our understanding of the way the positive mentality works, the team is going to take more risk with some level of caution. So they're going to try and create much chances as much as possible, but they're not going to go overly aggressive about creating the chance. They're going to try and probe the opposition, but with the extremely high tempo, perhaps that's why he's using a positive mentality as well, to try and contain that extremely high tempo with the tactic. As the tactic is, there are no set pieces attached to it and no opposition instructions as well. It's just completely blank, so you can assign your OIs and your set pieces as you like, and then anything that works for you in Football Manager, you can try to apply those into this tactic and see if it's going to make the tactic work even better for you. With the way the tactic looks, it's probably a tactic that would really work effectively, or should work effectively, for a team like Manchester City. But regardless, that's the way the tactic is set up, and that's the internal instructions, player instructions, and the team instructions as well in detail. So I'll catch you guys with more videos, more Football Manager tactic testing videos like this in future. Remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications bell so you can get notified when new videos like this come up. I'll catch you guys in the next video.